Ladies and gentlemen, I am back, GenXGamer here with more Tower Simulator 3. Today we have a new airport to the channel, and that is Auckland, New Zealand, Auckland Airport. So we're going to go ahead and give this one a shot. I'm pretty excited about this. I've never played this one before, so we'll be seeing it together for the first time. Our weather conditions are going to be METAR live. We're going to do an afternoon shift, 3 o'clock. I figure we'll have some decent traffic then. And then we're also going to go with our just flight traffic, which is the airport database and airplane set. So let's go ahead and head over to Auckland, New Zealand. Thanks for hanging out with me. All right, everybody, welcome to Auckland, New Zealand. As you can see, the airport here is only one runway, but it's a rather large airport. We'll go ahead and take an outside view here. Let me go ahead and go to an aerial view. And I currently have it paused, so we can kind of take a look at the airport. So you can see the main terminal here. You have a lot of New Zealand, Air New Zealand airlines, and also Jetstar is another big one here. And there's the runway here. Over here is runway 23 left. And on this side, it's designated 05 right. Over here is where the heavies are. And then there's even more down here at this terminal area. So we'll go ahead and I got some camera views set up. We'll get down here a little bit more. Here's our Air New Zealand fleet. There's a Jetstar right there. As you can see, we got our turboprops. So a nice variety of different aircraft here with Airbuses and Boeings and everything in between. And again, over here is our heavies. There we have a Singapore. Let me go back here. There we go, Singapore and a Qatar. And then on the other side of the airport would be more heavies. Look at that. We have an AirAsia, AirAsia.com. That's pretty cool livery. Another heavy there. And then more airlines on this side too. So a lot going on here in New Zealand. Currently, it looks like it is clear. I don't know that the weather is updated quite yet because I have it paused. Let's head back into the tower. And yeah, as you can see, it's showing calm right now, but we'll go ahead and unpause her. And for now, we'll select runway 05 right for our arrivals. So looking outside here, 05 right's down there by the trees. And I've got a camera view set up for down there that looks like this. So we'll be able to watch them come in right above the trees there. All right, so it looks like we have one popping up on the 8ers coming in. It looks like a New Zealand. And that's what they're called. It'd be New Zealand 9er73. So I hope you all are doing well and having a wonderful, I guess it's already the end of March, isn't it? We don't have too much further to go before April. So here over in the States, in Michigan, it's still chilly. We've had days where it's been 60, near 70. Southern Michigan's had even better temperatures than that at times. And then it's just downright cold. I think right now, and I talk about this in every episode, some people like to hear, what's the weather like in Michigan? Well, right now it's 41 degrees. So it can go from 70 to 41 to 23 to 60 the next day. It's just, this time of year's very, very challenging. A lot of people sick, a lot of people with the flu, all that good stuff. Let's see, do we have any update on the weather? Okay, so we're currently 180 at 3. No concern there. We're fine. We'll just keep it as is. We'll keep an eye on the knots, but Right now, a little bit of a crosswind, but nothing to be concerned with whatsoever. So we're good there. And again, it's nice and clear. Got some clouds up there. Maybe a little haze in the background. Nice blue skies. In fact, let's zoom out here. Nice blue skies above us. So we'll see if any weather moves in, but as of right now, everything looks good. Looks like we also have a Jetstar that's going to be coming in. And again, this is the Just Flight traffic models that we are using, and then also their schedule.
Auckland Tower, New Zealand 973 on final 05 right.
All right, there is New Zealand. I'm going to turn my sound up on my end a little bit so I can hear. Let's go ahead and make contact with them. New Zealand 973 radar contact, continue approach, runway 05 right.
Roger, runway 05 right, New Zealand 973.
All right, so we let them know that we know they're here. And I think we'll be having some pushbacks here pretty soon. Right at the top of the hour at 3 o'clock here. And I have no information on where these are coming from. In fact, I don't even have the model information on the TS3 Assistant, so I can't even tell you if it's a 737 or a 737-800 MAX or Airbus A319. I have no idea. I suppose down here it would probably have them. But I definitely do enjoy using the TS3 Assistant on my other screen. Whoa. Trying to see. Woo. Let's go back down there. Let's see. That one looks like was that A321neo?
Auckland Tower, Jetstar 236 on final.
And the Jetstar looks like an A320. Okay. There we go. Sorry if I gave any of you seizures with that little stunt I pulled there. Jetstar 236 radar contact, continue approach, runway 05 right. New Zealand 973, wind is 180 at 3, runway 05 right, clear to land. We'll go ahead and clear them.
Roger. Runway 05 right, Jetstar 236.
Runway 05 right, clear to land, New Zealand 973.
Auckland ground, New Zealand 481 with information Tango, requesting push and start.
All right. New Zealand 481, pushback approved. Expect runway 05 right.
Pushback approved, expect runway 05 right, New Zealand 481.
All right, so it's going to take a little bit for me to get used to these taxiways, but I'll kind of figure out a plan here in my mind.
Ground, New Zealand 551 with information Tango.
All right, we're getting busy. Good. New Zealand 551, pushback approved, facing west. There we go.
Pushback approved, facing west, New Zealand 551.
All right, our arrival's still about 10 miles out, our first arrival. So it's going to be a little bit before they get here. You can see them, though.
Auckland ground, New Zealand 8137.
There they are.
Tango, requesting push and start.
Another one. New Zealand 8137, pushback approved, facing west. Is that one of our props?
Facing west, New Zealand 8137.
Might be. Yep. It sure is. All right, how's this one doing over here? Good. Good, good, good. I think I'm going to clear...
New Zealand 481 ready to taxi.
I think I'm going to clear the Jetstar. Jetstar 236. Runway 05 right, clear to land. Number 2.
Runway Runway 05 right, cleared to land, Jetstar 236.
All right, so everybody's getting pushed back. I just love the sound of those props. All right, maybe we should head down and check out our first arrival. What do you say? We'll head on down there, check out our first arrival.
Auckland ground, New Zealand 551 ready to taxi.
We'll get to all them in a second. Our very first arrival at Auckland. Yay. All right. Landed that one like butter. New Zealand 551 taxi to runway 05 right via Bravo Juliet Alpha.
Taxi to runway 05 right via Bravo Juliet Alpha, New Zealand 551.
New Zealand 481 taxi to runway 05 right via Bravo Juliet Alpha.
Taxi to runway 05 right via Bravo Juliet Alpha, New Zealand 481.
Auckland ground, New Zealand 8137 ready to taxi.
New Zealand 8137 taxi to runway 05 right via Bravo Juliet Alpha. Hold short of taxiway Bravo 6.
Taxi to runway 05 right via Bravo Juliet Alpha. Hold short of taxiway Bravo 6, New Zealand 8137.
All right, I was having him hold short of this taxiway, but he's going to make the turn here. Plenty of room. We'll go ahead and get this one in. New Zealand 973 taxi to ramp via Bravo 5, Bravo Delta 4 Delta.
Taxi to ramp via Bravo 5, Bravo Delta 4 Delta, New Zealand 907.
New Zealand 8137, continue taxi.
Continue taxi, New Zealand 8137.
All right, here comes our next arrival, Jetstar. New Zealand 102, radar contact. Continue approach, runway 05 right.
Roger, runway 05 right, New Zealand 102.
Okay. Jetstar 236, taxi to ramp via Alpha Bravo 6 Delta 1. So they're pretty much going straight in.
Taxi to ramp via Alpha Bravo 6 Delta 1, Jetstar 236.
So they'll be going straight on in. We'll be able to get this next one out.
Auckland ground, Singapore 286 heavy with information Tango, requesting push and start.
New Zealand 551, wind is 1803, runway 05 right, clear for immediate takeoff.
Runway 05 right, cleared for immediate takeoff, New Zealand 551.
Singapore 286 heavy, pushback approved, expect runway 05 right.
Pushback approved, expect runway 05 right. Singapore 286 heavy.
Auckland Tower, New Zealand
Okay.
8458 on final 05 right.
New Zealand 102, runway 05 right, cleared to land. New Zealand 8458, radar contact, continue approach, runway 05 right. Okay,
Runway
got them
05
handled.
right,
All right, let's head on down here and
New Zealand 102.
watch our first departure.
Roger, runway 05 right, New Zealand 8458.
It's nice to see this airport busy like this. I'm going to try my best to just keep a nice flow here. Try and do everything safely as possible. bet this one would be nice and fun in the fog. With all the water around it. New Zealand 481, runway 05 right, line up behind next landing.
Runway 05 right. Line up behind next landing aircraft. New Zealand 481.
New Zealand 8458, wind is 1803, runway 05 right, clear to land.
Runway 05 right, clear to land. New Zealand 8458.
Auckland ground. Singapore 286 heavy ready to taxi.
Singapore 286 heavy, taxi to runway 05 right via Juliet Alpha.
Taxi to runway 05 right via Juliet Alpha. Singapore 286 heavy.
Big old Singapore back behind there. As soon as they get off, we will get this one on the roll. New Zealand 481, wind is 1803, runway 05 right, clear for takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 1000, turn right heading 900, contact departure. Contact departure. That doesn't want to do it.
Runway 05 right. Clear for takeoff. On reaching altitude
New Zealand
1000,
551,
turn right
contact
heading 90,
departure.
New Zealand 481.
Departure on 128.2, New Zealand 551. Good day.
New Zealand 8137, runway 05 right, line up and wait. Go ahead and get him out of here. He won't require as much runway.
New Zealand 8137.
Auckland Tower. New Zealand H227 on final 05 right.
Man, I'm getting some frame rate issues here. Not sure why it's doing that. That's kind of weird. Normally don't have those issues. New Zealand 102, taxi to ramp via Alpha Bravo 6 Delta.
Taxi to ramp via Alpha Bravo 6 Delta. New Zealand 102.
New Zealand 481, contact departure.
Departure on 128.2, New Zealand 481.
New Zealand 8137, runway 05 right, clear for takeoff.
Runway 05 right. Clear for takeoff.
All right, we'll get them out of here. Next up will be Singapore. We got this one coming in just about the short final here. It's a nice little airport. Definitely a large enough runway for our heavies. I mean, it's a massive runway. I don't know the specs offhand, but
New Zealand 5015 with information
it's really big.
requesting push and start.
New Zealand 5015, pushback approved, facing west. All right, let's head on down there.
Pushback approved facing west. New Zealand 5015.
Another dual prop. Is that an ATR? Let's see.
Auckland ground, New Zealand 5079er with information tango.
Man, it's so small. I can't quite see it. Maybe it's a de Havilland -8. I think is what it is. De Havilland -8. Okay, let's head on down, back down here. New Zealand 5079, pushback approved, facing west. New Zealand 8137, turn right, heading 900, contact departure.
Pushback approved
Right, there they go, make their turn.
5079er.
And they'll contact departure.
Departure on 128.2, New Zealand 8137. Good day.
Singapore 286 heavy, runway 05 right. Clear for immediate takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 1000, turn right, heading 90.
Runway 05 right. Clear for immediate takeoff. On reaching altitude 1000, turn right heading 90. Singapore
Right,
286
that one
heavy.
there is 10 miles out. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and clear to land. New Zealand 8227, runway 05 right, cleared to land.
Runway 05 right, clear to land. New Zealand H227. Cliff ground. New Zealand 5015, ready to taxi.
New Zealand 5015, taxi to runway 05 right via Bravo, Juliet Alpha. New Zealand 8458, taxi to ramp via Bravo 5 Bravo.
Taxi to runway 05 right, via Bravo, Juliet, Alpha. New Zealand 5015.
All right, here goes
Taxi to land. Via
Singapore.
Bravo 5. Bravo. New Zealand 8458.
Oh, now they're really spooling up.
Auckland ground. New Zealand 5079 ready to taxi.
New Zealand 5079, taxi to runway 05 right via Bravo, Juliet Alpha.
Taxi to runway 05 right via Bravo, Juliet Alpha. New Zealand 5079er.
There she goes. Love watching those heavies land and take off. I say it all the time, but it's almost like they're just floating in the sky. There they go. Look at that big bank.
Auckland Tower. Qantas 119er heavy on final 05 right.
Singapore 286 heavy, contact departure.
Departure on 128.2.
All right, here comes our next arrival.
Good day.
We have a Qantas heavy that just made contact with us. We'll go ahead and respond. Once this one touches down, we'll watch her come in. Just a nice, steady stream of traffic here in Auckland, New Zealand. Qantas 119 heavy, radar contact, continue approach, runway 05 right.
Roger. Runway 05 right. Qantas 119er heavy.
New Zealand 8227, taxi to ramp via Bravo 5 Bravo. They're almost going straight in.
Taxi to ramp, via Bravo 5. Bravo, New Zealand H227.
Like literally one gate right of Bravo 5. In fact, I'll just show you guys quick. You can see right there. Easy peasy. New Zealand 5015, wind is 1803, runway 05 right, clear for takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 1000, contact departure.
Runway 05 right, clear for takeoff. On reaching altitude 1000, contact departure. New Zealand 5015. Auckland ground, New Zealand 5117 with information Tango, requesting push and start.
New Zealand 5117, pushback approved. Expect runway 05 right. They're way over on the
Pushback approved.
left
Expect
side
runway
here.
05 right, New Zealand 5117.
On startup. Qantas 119 heavy, wind is 1803, runway 05 right, clear to land.
Runway 05 right. Clear to land. Qantas 119er heavy.
Gotta make sure I still handle my business while we're staring at planes. New Zealand 5079, runway 05 right, line up and wait. I'm gonna get you out.
Runway 05 right.
We're gonna get you
line
out.
up and west. New Zealand 507
Qantas is still 10 miles out, so we'll be okay there.
Auckland Tower, Fiji 419 on final 05 right.
Fiji 419, radar contact, continue approach, runway 05 right.
Roger, runway 05 right, Fiji 419.
Just love that. Love that sound. New Zealand 5079, runway 05 right, clear for takeoff. I don't know what's taking you so long here. I had already cleared you, sir. Or ma'am.
New Zealand 5117 ready to taxi.
Listen up. You got a big boy coming up behind you. New Zealand 5117, taxi to runway 05 right via Bravo Juliet Alpha.
Taxi to runway 05 right via Bravo, Juliet, Alpha, New Zealand 5117.
All right, there they go. They'll be fine. They'll get off the ground in time. Not a problem. But we're going to go down here and we're going to check out Qantas as it's coming in. There it is. Like I said, it just kind of looks like it's floating. Welcome to New Zealand, Qantas. Welcome, welcome. Woo. Frame rates. What in the world? New Zealand 5079, turn right heading 900, contact departure.
Departure on 128.2, New Zealand 5079. Good day.
Qantas 119 heavy, taxi to ramp via Alpha Juliet Kilo. Just gonna let them
Taxi
roll
to
on in,
ramp via Alpha, Juliet, Kilo, Qantas 119 heavy.
but they gotta come over here by us. Fiji 419, wind is 1102, runway 05 right, clear to land.
Runway 05 right, clear to land, Fiji 419.
There we go. I knew I had a camera near this intersection. Spirit of Australia. Qantas. That's a pretty bird. That is a pretty bird. Airbus A330. Is it getting more and more hazy, or is it just because we're ground level here? Not sure. Let's check out Fiji. Oh yeah, the weather is changing. It seems to be a little bit darker, doesn't it? All right, so this has been pretty relaxing and chill. You know what? I'm thinking maybe I'll do a live stream here with you guys coming up soon. If I have time, I don't know. Not sure which day. I might do an impromptu one too. I kind of do that once in a while. Heck, there's probably only a handful of you that watch this whole video anyway. Most people might be checked out by now. But I'll probably do my next live stream from here. But yeah, this is let's see, 3:30 in the afternoon and kind of dark. BG419 taxi to ramp via Alpha Juliet Sierra 2. BG419 taxi to ramp via Alpha Juliet Bravo Sierra 2. Okay, it doesn't like the S2. I'll show you guys what I mean. You see the S2 there? It doesn't like that. So, and if you zoom in, you'll see him more. Let's just do this. BG419 taxi to ramp via Alpha Kilo. There. Keep it simple.
Via Alpha Kilo. VG419.
Keep it simple, stupid. Okay. Let's see. We've got no one coming in. Let's go ahead and clear this one for takeoff. New Zealand 5117. Wind is 1102. Runway 05 right. Clear for takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 1000, contact departure. Just have them contact departure at 1000.
Runway 05 right. Cleared for takeoff. On reaching altitude 1000, contact departure. New Zealand 5117.
Why? Because we can. It's in the game. I probably should start using that a little more anyway. More so when things are really busy, but I just feel like using it once in a while. Okay. So we got this one taken off. We got Qantas still heading over to their gate, which is right next to that other Qantas on the left there. Be on the left side of them. Then we got Fiji coming in. All right, little guy, are we making progress here? Are we going to do it today? We are. Here they go. All right, so we'll see what's next. I'm not seeing anything coming in at the moment. I've got nothing going out at the moment. We'll just enjoy this one taking off. But yeah, it is now getting cloudy. All right, there they go. So lately I've been getting back into a little bit of Microsoft Flight Simulator. I enjoy doing that, flying around a little bit. It's been fun. I did a flight from let's see, KMBS. There's MBS in Saginaw County in Freeland, Michigan. KMBS to KBNA. That was my last flight down to Nashville. That was fun. I was flying a Longitude private jet, and I enjoy flying that aircraft too. All right, they're out of here, and we're here, and it's like really quiet. Really, really quiet. So I'm using the
Auckland ground, New Zealand 127 with information uniform, requesting push and start.
Let's see here if I can do this without... Okay, I'm using the set of computers up on the pedestal here. These monitors. Instead of this one down here. It just gives me a little bit better of a view in the tower. If I want to do some spotting in the tower. So, just to let you know, that's where I'm at in here. New Zealand 127, pushback approved, spec runway 05 right. New Zealand 127, pushback approved, expect runway 05 right. There we go.
Pushback approved, expect runway 05 right. New Zealand 127.
All right, so there they are. We do have another one coming in. This one's also a New Zealand coming in. So let me know what you guys think of this airport. Do you like what you're seeing? If you don't have this airport, I don't know. I mean, I would probably recommend it, especially if you're just getting started off in the sim too. But there are more difficult schedules in the Field Air Discord. People make schedules for these different airports all the time. So I'm sure there's one in there that's probably even busier than this one. I can guarantee it, there probably is. There's probably a 95% chance that there's a busier schedule that someone's made. Maybe I'll try one of those someday too. But this is kind of like our first look at this airport, and so far I like what I see. I do. All right, how are we doing over there? They're figuring life out. That's good. That is really good. We'll get them to the runway, get them out of here. We got two more coming in.
Auckland ground, New Zealand 127, ready to taxi.
New Zealand 127, taxi to runway 05 right via Bravo Lima Alpha.
Taxi to runway 05 right via Bravo Lima Alpha. New Zealand 127.
Auckland Tower, New Zealand 550 on final 05 right.
New Zealand 550, radar contact, continue approach, runway 05 right.
Roger, runway 05 right, New Zealand 550.
Boy, it's nice and quiet in the tower, isn't it? We go down here. A little louder. Nice and quiet in the tower. But yeah, I think I'm going to do a live stream from here. So I'll try and give some advanced warning for that, especially if you're subbed. If you're not, consider subbing. You'll be notified anytime I go live. Hit that like, that bell, and sub. Only if you want to, though. No pressure from my end. I just do this for fun. Not interested in YouTube fame, and I don't think I would go there anyway. Being a Gen Xer, that ain't in the cards. All right, we've got another one coming in. Plus, I don't want to be attached to social media and all that to the hip 24/7. Although I do like hanging out with all of you guys, so.
Auckland Tower, New Zealand 5018 on final 05 right.
New Zealand 5018, wind is 1102, radar contact, continue approach.
Roger, New Zealand 5018.
New Zealand 550, wind is 1102, runway 05 right, clear to land. Right, they're about 15 miles out.
Runway 05 right, clear to land, New Zealand 550.
So we'll see if we have a chance at getting this one out of here before this one comes in. We probably will. New Zealand 127, runway 05 right, clear for immediate takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 1000, turn right heading 900, contact departure.
Runway 05 right, cleared for immediate takeoff. On reaching altitude 1000, turn right heading 900, contact departure, New Zealand 127.
All right. Just go ahead and ramp her up.
1221 with information uniform. Requesting push and start.
New Zealand 1221, pushback approved, facing west.
Pushback approved facing west. New Zealand 1221.
Sorry about the frame rate stuff. I'm not sure what's happening there. I don't think it's the airport. I probably need to restart my PC or something. I use it for work, and I constantly have multiple things going on, and sometimes it just does the body good to drink milk, and it does the computer good to restart. At least that's what they tell me about milk. I don't know if that's so true anymore. Don't know if that's true. Were we really meant to drink cow's milk? Adults being nursed by cows? I don't know. All right, another successful takeoff. And the landing gear is staying down. Retract the gear, Mr. Pilot. Come on. Nope. They're just not going to do it, folks. That's a glitch in the just flight traffic. Something they definitely need to fix. All right, let's head on down here. We got our next arrival coming in. This one's has mostly the black paint scheme. Some of them have a lot of black. Some of them have a lot of white. The inverse, it looks like. In fact, there's a white one and a black one there.
Auckland ground. New Zealand 1221 ready to taxi.
Yeah, we'll get to you here, New Zealand. We'll get to you. We'll get to all of you. All right. New Zealand 1221, taxi to runway 05 right via Bravo Juliet Alpha.
Taxi to runway 05 right via Bravo Juliet Alpha. New Zealand 1221.
New Zealand 550, taxi to ramp via Alpha Bravo 6 Bravo. Hold short of taxiway Bravo.
Taxi to ramp via Alpha, Bravo 6, Bravo, hold short of taxiway Bravo, New Zealand 550.
New Zealand 5018, wind is 1102, runway 05 right, clear to land.
Runway 05 right, clear to land. New Zealand 5018.
All right, let's see if these two can behave themselves. Very curious to see if they can do it. So the one closest to us is going down Bravo. The other one is to hold short of Bravo when it makes the turn here. Okay. So they're instructed to hold short of Bravo, and they did it. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Man, what a tragic day a few days ago at LaGuardia, huh? New Zealand 550, continue taxi. Just absolutely horrible.
Taxi, New Zealand 550.
And I know a lot of people are blaming the pilot, or the air traffic controller, rather. And I think we just need to wait and hear what the final findings are from the NTSB before there's any blame. Because in aviation, it's never just one event, one mistake, or one thing that causes a tragedy. It's generally multiple things. Could be 3 or more. And in this case, I'm already seeing evidence of that. Just preliminary. New Zealand 5018 taxi to ramp via Bravo 5.
Taxi to ramp via Bravo 5. New Zealand 5018.
But just absolutely horrific.
Auckland ground. Qantas 156 with information uniform. Requesting push and start.
Watching that video, that was hard to stomach. And with social media, you know, you're just going to see stuff. It just pops up on your feed and starts playing. And, yeah, just absolutely tragic. Rest in peace, pilots. And, in my opinion, I think they did a good job. You know, the nose of the plane took the direct hit, which obviously killed them, but it probably saved a lot of passengers by not swerving, applying too much brake pressure on one side or the other, trying to do some weird evasive maneuver that we would naturally do generally as humans, right? We tend to avoid and swerve, and you know, they just kept it head on, and I guarantee that saved a lot of lives. Whether they did it absolutely intentionally or didn't really have time to react, the way the impact was, they sacrificed themselves for the rest of the crew and passengers. Qantas 156, pushback approved, expect runway 05 right.
Pushback approved. Expect runway 05 right. Qantas 156.
New Zealand 1221, runway 05 right. Cleared for takeoff upon reaching altitude 1000. Turn right, heading 100. Contact departure.
Runway 05 right. Cleared for takeoff on reaching altitude 1000. Turn right heading 100.
It looks like we got a couple more coming in.
Auckland Tower, New Zealand 8468 on final 05 right.
New Zealand 8468, radar contact, continue approach, runway 05 right.
Roger, runway 05 right. New Zealand 8468.
All right, roll on out of here. So again, guys and gals, let me know what you think of this airport, Auckland, New Zealand. I'm really digging it. Really digging it so far. Just a nice, peaceful airport with enough traffic to keep you interested. I don't know if I think we might have a China Southern Heavy coming in. I see it up on the 8ers. So I think what we'll do is we'll get this China Southern in, and we'll call it an episode there. I think we've gone, I don't know, 50 minutes or so
Ground. Qantas 156 ready to taxi.
for this first look. Qantas 156, taxi to runway 05 right.
Taxi to runway 05 right.
Oh, another
Qantas
one.
156.
The gear is staying down. So hopefully they do an update and fix that. Just flight traffic there. Hopefully they'll fix that. All right, so we'll head back over here. We've got Qantas now. that's going to be coming around the bend here. Again, sorry about the whatever's going on with the frame rate there. I probably need to do a restart.
Auckland Tower, China Southern 305 heavy on final 05 right.
Yep, it's China Southern. China Southern 305 heavy, radar contact, continue approach, runway 05 right. New Zealand 8468, wind is 1102, runway 05 right, clear to land.
Roger, runway 05 right, China Southern 305 heavy.
Runway 05 right, clear to land. New Zealand 8468.
All right, well, we got that going on. You know what we need to do? We need to get a screenshot. So let's go ahead and do that, shall we? Just going to go ahead and get a nice screenshot here. Perfect.
Auckland ground, PG410 heavy with information uniform. Requesting push and start.
And I think I might do another one here. Let's go low. Zoom on in. Bring her up a bit. Let's do this right here. All right, there we go. We got some screenshots there. Nice. We'll use one of those two. PG 410 heavy, pushback approved, spec runway 05 right.
Command requirement missing. PG410
PG
heavy.
410 heavy, pushback approved, spec runway 05 right. So they don't have the Fijis painted.
Pushback approved, expect runway 05 right. PG410 heavy.
So it's just a blank livery there. All right, Qantas is turning around the bend here, and I'll hang a right toward the runway, and we'll lose them a little bit in the trees. All right, how are we doing here on our arrivals? Good. China Southern 305 heavy, wind is 1102, runway 05 right, clear to land. Number 2.
Runway 05 right. Clear to land. China Southern 305 heavy.
Well, I definitely want to say thank you to all of our new subscribers to the channel. Welcome to the GenXGamer family. Appreciate having you guys on board. It's nice to have you. And also our OGs. Thank you so much for sticking around all these years. It's been wonderful to meet new people and hang out online with them, do things that we love to do, like flight simulators and tornado chasing and silly stuff. And by the way, I'm working on some episodes for tornado chasing again. We're going to get back into that. That's always been a lot of fun. I've got more episodes coming for The Precinct. I know some of you are liking that. And hopefully eventually I can get a nice rotation of the different sims
Auckland ground, PG410 heavy ready to taxi.
that we are playing. So I'm going to wait on the heavy coming in. I'm not going to put Qantas in front of them. BG410 heavy taxi to runway 05 right via Bravo Alpha.
Taxi to runway 05 right via Bravo Alpha. PG410 heavy.
Maybe we should try and get a screenshot of the China Southern coming in too. New Zealand 8468 taxi to ramp via Alpha Bravo 4 Bravo.
Taxi to ramp via Alpha, Bravo 4, Bravo, New Zealand 8468.
Yeah, let's see. Let's do that. I'm going to make a quick decision here. We're going to go into the trees, shall we? Oh, we'll pop out of the trees. We'll go right here. And let's just go whoop, like this. We'll try and get the Qantas in the background. We'll see if I can do this. Maybe I can't. I don't know. Here we go. We're going to get it right now. There we go. China Southern. Very neat. Qantas 156, runway 05 right, line up and wait.
Runway 05 right, line up and wait. Qantas 156.
Let's take a closer look at that. Yeah, she's going to have to come all the way down here.
New Zealand 8269 on final 05 right.
New Zealand 8269, radar contact, continue approach, runway 05 right.
Roger, runway 05 right, New Zealand 8269.
Okay, yep, there we go. Let's see here. Yeah, see, I don't use these strips on here. I'm doing it on the TS3 Assistant, so... Anyway, all right, let's head on back down there and let's see here. Let's take a look at that China Southern. I'm getting a little distracted here. China Southern 305 heavy, taxi to ramp via Alpha Juliet. Qantas 156, wind is 110 at 2, runway 05 right, clear for takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 1000, turn right, heading 100, contact departure.
Taxi to ramp via Alpha Juliet, China Southern 305.
BJ 410 heavy, runway 05 right, line up and wait.
Runway 05 right, clear for takeoff. On reaching altitude 1000.
That pinstriping makes it look rather sleek, doesn't it? Kind of a neat livery. All right, here comes Qantas. Fiji 410 heavy, runway 05 right, clear for immediate takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 1000, contact departure. Gonna let them roll.
Runway 05 right, cleared for immediate takeoff. On reaching altitude 1000, contact departure. Fiji 410 heavy.
Auckland Tower, New Zealand 8076 on final 05 right.
New Zealand 8076, radar contact, continue approach 05 right. Runway 05 right. We'll try and do that again. New Zealand 8076, radar contact, continue approach, runway 05 right. New Zealand 8269, runway 05 right, clear to land. All right, we're going to get Fiji out of here. We'll call it an episode. I'm going to let you guys go.
Runway 05 right, clear to land. New Zealand 8269.
All right. Once again, thank you all so much for checking out this first look on our channel at Auckland, New Zealand. This one's been a lot of fun. I've definitely enjoyed it. Hope you guys have too. If you have, be sure to hit that like, that bell, that sub, and leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know that you were here and that you enjoyed the video, enjoyed the airport, and all that good stuff. Qantas 156, contact departure.
Departure on 128.2, Qantas 156. Good day.
All right, everybody, this is the GenXGamer saying I will catch you all in the next one. Bye-bye now.